All right, guys, Gene Esther here, back again with artcorner.net, and I'm here with Perry Pencil, having a great discussion on the animation that we collaborated on. And we're just gonna have a conversation back and forth about some of the steps and processes of how we came about to making it happen from beginning to end.
And I wanted to show you guys the process that I took to make the Perry Pencil He-Man intro. Hold on, let me move that up a little bit. There he is. And like I said, the program that I used was Flip-A-Clip. And Flip-A-Clip is a great program to get it into animation. Very basic in its functionality. You have your basic pen tool, your eraser, your lasso tool, your fill, of course your text. Of course you can also add your sound and all that to it. But so let's get into it. Yeah, so these are the frames of the He-Man, the Perry Pencil He-Man here. So let's just run it real quick and I'll just kind of explain all the processes. Here it is. That's the whole, and at the end right there. So this is what I usually do to kind of run the scene. I can also run, scrub it down here with my pencil here, but so let me do this quick. Let me turn off these layers and I'll show you how I first started there it is. Took all these off here. And basically it all started with this just line drawing. So basically if I wanted to, I can actually still just draw. There it is. I can draw right on this layer. And so a lot of the first couple of layers are pretty much the same, and this is where the chest plate comes in. Yeah, there was a little color error there. Probably put it in the wrong area. Yeah. And this is where the Perry Pencil emblem comes in onto the chest plate, and then of course it pulls up and around his back, and then this is the scene where he grows into his He-Man self here. And then of course this is the swipe scene where I just swipe up. See, I had some color issues there, wrong layer, but should be a lot cleaner with my layers. And then swings around, pulls back, and then swings up his sword, where I have the power. And then the last scene, of course, is the pullback scene in front of Castle Grayskull. And what I did there, these are the things you see around there are some of the artifacts from erasing. I had to end up erasing some of these, and I'll explain why. And then the last scene, of course, pulls back, looks at the viewer, and poses for the last Perry Pencil pose. And it turned out real well. So that's what I started with the line drawing. And then once I was satisfied with that, that's when I got into the color layer. I did some flat layers. All of these are not in the right place, but so going back to this, so I ended up erasing just the outline lines and just kind of went with a solid energy color. I went with blue on that one, and it just worked a lot better than having line drawings. But some of the artifacts still stayed, but actually when you put everything together, you don't really notice it. So yeah, that's it. And then one other thing that I did was every other frame, so I worked on 1s and 2s, but every other frame I did a basic shadow, so towards the inside part, so it just kind of gave the effect of the glow and the lighting effect. So, and of course, a lot of times you won't notice that the character is not finished because I pull in closer to the frame, so sometimes I just have the characters floating and knowing that I don't need his feet or anything like that. So And that's the process. So it's a 3-stage process, from the line drawing to the flat colors, and then I add secondary colors or shadows to create and then, the energy for another layer here and there. But it's a very basic animation, but it got the, the effect and the look what we wanted. And yeah, that's it. I hope you guys enjoyed that brief overview of the Perry Pencil He-Man intro. And yeah, back to you guys.
After you saw the animation, like, what was your initial kind of thought once you seen it?
Well, I will say that I was taken aback immediately. Number one, it's like I just looked at the phone and literally felt like I was in the Filmation animation that happened when I was a child. Like, I literally felt like this is a new adaptation of the Filmation He-Man from the 80s. So literally, I'm actually able to see myself as a drawn character with the motion of the pencil sword and all of that, and it really was mind-blowing, even with the powers coming around me and things like that. It really felt like something that could be, seen on its own, like kind of like a parody of the He-Man Filmation. So it was mind-blowing. The response is literally, I just was taken aback and didn't have words for it, really. I just really was honored that he was able to do such an amazing thing with, literally, guys, I sent him the drawing, and he'll be able to, again, show the drawing as we're speaking.
We'll show it.
Yeah, and you'll be able to see it and things like that. But the original drawing that I did in ink right there, and he was able to actually replicate and work and animate off the drawing. So what I want to do is this right here, this segment that we're talking about has more to do with the animation process, because I always, again, I went to film school. I went to University of Arts in Pennsylvania, and I'm an animation fanatic and a fan. And now that we have Gene Esther here killing the game when it comes to the animation, we wanted to bring ourselves back to talk a little bit about that. So the first thing I want to do is I want you, Gene, to explain to everyone the way I understand it in film animation, the process being usually you do 2 frames a second, and Disney does a single frame. The way I understand it is that it's usually 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 1, 3, 5, 7, 9, and 11, right? So my other question, also following up with this, is that how did you do the numbering system with the frames?
I actually really worked on 1s and 2s. That's the main part. It wasn't. I didn't overly complicate my process. My initial thought was only add maybe 1 or 2 in betweens.
That's the key word. Yeah. So Gene's talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Is those in betweens.
Yeah. Mind you guys, I didn't go to art school to do animation, so I had learned all this. This is like literally, fast track. Just because I've been doing fine arts for a very long time, and animation and illustration was always a big part of what I love to do, but animation was still new to me. So, but I do know the 1s and 2s. But yeah, there's a lot of terminology that I'm learning, and I'm actually gonna hopefully. Pass that information and knowledge over to you guys, because as I'm learning, I'd love to teach you guys what I know and what I've kind of picked up along my way of learning animation in this fast track kind of style. But yeah, definitely it worked off of the keyframes, right, the main frames, and then also adding maybe 1 or 2 other frames to just kind of like help with the flow, and that's the real gist of it. It helped it with that, but it's all about those keyframes. Those main frames are just what keeps my animation and everything flowing, and then the in-betweens fill up. You fill them in. So I'll show you guys more examples of that as things go along. Definitely.
Absolutely. Great stuff, Gene. Again, when you're talking about the keyframes are actually reference points for motions. So you'll have a point, a starting point, then you'll have a middle point and end point. So those keyframes will help you get from one motion to the next. So you have A, B, and C, and then in between those A, B, and C, you have those fillers that continue that motion. So the next question being is the process of the inking and coloring. So for those that are listening in on this right now, what was that like? Was it really, really arduous? Was it a task? Was it grueling? Because you've seen it kind of fly through it pretty quickly. So what was the coloring like for the character?
All right. Yeah, the coloring, and well, first off, before I answer that, I think what I'd like to tell everyone is what program I used. I actually worked on the animation on my iPad, of all things, and I used a Flip-a-Clip, which is a very popular animation program, very simple to use, very intuitive, and that's what I used to work on the animation, and I actually did all the coloring on that too. So the process after using it, I've used it for, like I said, the last 7 months that I've had the program, and I've been kind of just working it. I've gotten tons of clips of animations so far into it, but this is the first one I actually worked in it, colored it, and from the full process. So it wasn't as grueling. It was more of the exciting energy of seeing it happen. And once you're when you're working on something that's important, and you're working on a collaboration, and you just want to impress the other person, that's kind of like how it went. So I feel like that's why it came together so fast, because we both kind of worked off of our energies to just collaborated. As soon as after I sent it, it wasn't long after you sent the audio, and then as soon as you sent the audio, and then 2 days after I sent it right back to you, then you saw it, then you sent it. So we collaborated to make it happen very fast, and I feel like that's what we want to do and bring to you folks out there, the category, just really fun, creative animations that really kind of say something unique and really customized and one of a kind. So I appreciated the experience, and I feel like this is the start of something real special. So and I hope you guys kind of stick around and come along with us for this amazing ride of animations. It's gonna be a great journey, definitely. I look forward to it, definitely.
And before we wrap up, we'll be doing this more often, because unlike ourselves, we want you to have an opportunity to come to these channels, the Art Corner and Perry Pencil, to learn whatever it is that you need to learn, to have it at your fingertips, basically. I've seen many other channels out here, but one of the things I do know that you will get here is to actually learn how to do the process of animation, and to be able to actually challenge us about some things. Like, if you want to see certain characters, I can go ahead and collaborate with Gene, and we can do some things, and then have you in for entertainment value, to be able to have fine arts. Gene here is definitely unmatched. You can see behind us some of the most beautiful oil paintings you'll see, and so that we want to bring who we are to you. The availability aspect is somewhat lacking, in my opinion. So in confidence, what we're doing and what we're bringing is that when we do things like our tutorials, on my channel, you'll see things like, and when I say step by step, I don't just mean line by line and shapes, or just like rough forms, or what people call freehand. Like, freehand is something different. So what I want to be able to bring here, even what we are introducing through this intro, is an opportunity to say, okay, if you want to learn how to draw the back, I'll show you how to draw the back without a ruler, or how to draw the arm in 3 different ways. You'll have your spheres, you'll have your cylinders. I see a lot of that lacking. I'm not knocking other channels out there that are, drawing channels, but I do know that what Gene and I are bringing to the table are fundamentally something that you could use in school if you're in art school or class, and you really don't have time to get the ruler. I know Gene can attest to this. When you don't have time to lay the ruler down, and if you do lay the ruler down, if that dark line you put there, you can't erase right away. So you want to be able to control your line weight, things like that. So these are all fundamental things that we want to be able to offer and bring to you, the student. If you're a student of art, we have all out here available for you. Also, if you want to be entertained, we're going to have that for you. So that's what this is all about. So with the He-Band/Perry thing, you have heard it here today that Gene is telling you he was able to do it on the iPad, and which is really genius. And I want to touch on this a little bit, that when you're dealing with animation, the way I used to do it is you do it on different sheets. You had a peg that you lock the sheet down on, and you flip the pages back and forth like a flip book. So now it's being done digitally on the tablet, so you'll be able to see the newer way to do the animation, and it's a quicker way. And then again, Gene will be able to show you things on there where how efficient and how you don't have to worry about mistakes. Because my nightmare used to be messing up 2 or 3 frames and having to replace those frames and draw them all over again, as opposed to digitally doing it. And Gene can know about that, how quick you can go back in the history palette, say, and get rid of a couple of steps as opposed to trying to just ball up the paper and start from scratch. So this was really, really fun. This was a great thing. We're going to be doing more things like this. And, is there anything you want to add to what was being said here on this platform?
No, you definitely said the bulk of it, but definitely, I just implore everyone to just, subscribe, be a part of this amazing collaborative journey, because we have tons of content and ideas to bring to you guys. And also, just to let you guys know that I'm actually a art instructor as well, so I do great fundamental art instructions to just make it simpler for a lot of budding artists or young artists who are looking to get into the illustration or fine art game. And I also help out artists who are looking to find their their niche and things like that. So that's why I have created this studio and to create great collaborations and things like that. But videos is the new realm that I definitely want to explore, and I'm glad to have great partners and friends to join up and collaborate with and bring you guys the best possible content that we can. So it's going to be a great journey. So definitely subscribe to both channels and leave comments. Definitely, I want to really want to connect with the YouTube community out here, and I know it's very loud and boisterous, and you guys definitely have a lot of options and ideas out there. So definitely see what you can learn from us, and we hope to bring you guys a lot of great more content. So anything else?
Yeah, that's it. Just to piggyback off of Gene, go ahead in the comment section, let us know what it is that you want to see next. We appreciate it. Definitely get those likes up, because those likes do matter. And hit that alert with the bell so that you know whenever we have content coming through. And I just want to say I appreciate you all that have been following Perry Pencil, and definitely with Gene has a lot to offer. With our collaborations, you see our corner t-shirt, definitely show him some love. Get over to his channel and look at his fine arts we have to offer. And on that note, we're going to say until next time, take care.